What's up, you guys? Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a freshman year experience, little story time type of thing. I'm just going to be talking about my experience as a freshman at SUNY Oswego, and then I'm also going to be answering some questions that you guys asked me on my Instagram. So yeah, it's kind of going to be me talking about my experience and then giving you some advice and answering your questions. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So starting off, I thought I'd talk about like very beginning, just start at the very beginning, you know. Literally cried for about a week before going to college because I have severe anxiety. Like, let me just get that out there, you know. I have severe anxiety, and it was literally terrifying to be moving 2 hours away from my hometown, and especially during the middle of a pandemic when I had been home or at work all the time, you know. Like, I had been in my hometown for, you know, months straight, just like with my family constantly, with my boyfriend, friends, like just with my circle of people because it was a pandemic. And then after that, just having to go somewhere where I didn't know anyone, it was really scary. A whole move-in vlog on my channel, go watch that if you want to. I created a list in my phone of stuff I want to talk about, so that's kind of why I'm looking at my phone. But basically, my first semester of college was pretty rough. Dealing with my different mental health issues and, you know, fitting into a new environment, finding new friends, like finding myself 2 hours away from home was extremely hard. And another thing is, I don't have a car at the moment. I am getting a car soon, but I didn't have a car at college where I was 2 hours away from home. And so I would have to take the bus, and the bus schedule was all crazy because of like COVID and stuff they had. It just was really crazy, and it was really hard because I felt like I spent a lot of time in my room, and a lot of that was my fault. But when you're anxious and you're depressed and you just like, you know, you're having all these different emotions, you don't even want to leave your room because there's just this kind of comfort of being in your room or being in your bed or whatever, just kind of makes you feel a little bit more comforted than like trying to go out there and make friends. And first type of advice, don't do that. Definitely put yourself out there and, you know, go try to make friends. I know it's hard. Like, I have severe anxiety, but you have to go make friends because if you don't, you're going to be miserable. I was literally miserable my first semester. I just, like I said, like I couldn't put myself out there. Just really struggled with surrounding myself with people. People at my school went there knowing at least one other person. I went there knowing literally no one. There's like two other older upperclassmen kids from my hometown that go there, but I don't even talk to them, so it's not like I actually knew them. So I literally went there knowing absolutely no one, and so I already felt alone, not knowing anyone. Kind of like make myself feel more alone because I wouldn't put myself out there. I wouldn't go, you know, do this and that because I just already felt alone, and I didn't want that awkwardness, the uncomfortableness. Like, I just wanted it to be perfect off the bat, and I had to understand, like, that's not how it works. Like, you gotta go out there, you gotta do it, you gotta go live your life, you gotta get out there. I hate when people walk by because I feel like they can see me alone, and like not wanting to do things with groups of people. It was also hard to not be able to go do anything by myself, like go shopping, go get my nails done, do anything like that because I didn't have a car. So I couldn't go do anything by myself, and that didn't really help either because, you know, I could have got myself out of the rut if I could have went and done things by myself, but I couldn't. And also, due to the pandemic, we technically were not allowed to come home and like visit home unless we were in the region that our school is in. Not even being able to visit home was definitely an extreme struggle because it was such a transition from being home all the time and just like in my small hometown, I knew everyone, you know, like I literally know like everyone here. And then going to a college where I know 0 people, and I just had to like stay there and completely switch my environment. It was such a change in environment, and I think that's another reason why I struggled like intensely, is that it was such a quick transition. And like in a normal time, if it wasn't the pandemic, you're able to go home and see your family and, you know, do all of that, but I wasn't able to do that. So I definitely was feeling very homesick, very lonely, this and that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was major and minor stuff, because I feel like a lot of people stress going into their freshman year about their major and minor, worried that, you know, it's not really what they want to do or whatever. I'm here to tell you right now, don't even worry about it. If you have to change your major or you have to drop a minor, literally don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you my experience with it. I am going to school for psychology major, but I'm minoring in criminal justice, and I was going to double minor and have Spanish. However, I literally took a Spanish class, didn't understand it, which it was literally the next level from what I already took. Didn't understand it, went back down a level, and still just was not doing well. So I literally had to drop my minor, and I still could add the minor back if I wanted to, but I'm just like, I'm fine with the way it is now. And I have talked about this in another video. I had another like college Q&A, get ready with me type thing, so if you want to go watch that, you can as well. I feel like I talked a lot about my experience in there as well, but that was also during my first semester, and now I kind of have more to talk about through my second semester. So yeah, it was super hard for me personally was the COVID restrictions of going into other people's dorms. We were not allowed to go into other people's dorm buildings. We could only stay within our building, and that was extremely hard to make friends or to hang out with the friends that you did make. They ended up like taking that away at the end of the second semester, and we were able to hang out, but before that we weren't allowed to do that, and so it was really hard. First semester we weren't even able to eat in the dining hall either, and because of COVID. And then this second semester we were able to do that, but that was like the only place that you could hang out with your friends, unless you went to like Starbucks, or if, you know, a friend had a car and you guys went to do something, but you couldn't hang out in each other's buildings. It was only like if you live in the same building. So that was also really hard for me to deal with, because I had friends from other buildings. My best friend and my roommate for next year, her name's Alyssa, she's been in a lot of my vlogs lately. She was literally across campus, so for us to hang out was really difficult. Neither of us had a car. You know, we're like literally a 20-minute walk from each other, and we couldn't hang out in each other's buildings until literally like the last month of school. So it was like super hard for us to hang out. Like we would literally like FaceTime across campus, because that's how like crappy it was. Like we had to like FaceTime because there was nowhere else for us to hang out. But that ended up changing, and I'm not saying that the school was like wrong for doing that. Like it's whatever, we had to stay safe with the pandemic, but it definitely was something that really affected like making friends and like hanging out with friends. Also during second semester I switched to a single room, and that was mostly literally just because of my mental health, and I just needed my own room, my own space. Like I just needed to be by myself and figure myself out. My old roommate and I are completely fine. If she's watching this, hi. I just needed to be by myself and kind of work on myself and just make my own friends and figure out what I wanted to do. I'm gonna let you guys know I considered transferring or literally dropping out so many times, because I just was so unhappy and so depressed and just like hopeless. Like I felt like college was not for me, but I definitely did have those thoughts of dropping out or transferring, and I got through it, and I am going back to SUNY Oswego next year. I have a new roommate, my friend Alyssa, and it's all gonna be fine. And I'm probably gonna be bringing my car and everything, so I'm gonna have so much more of a better year there next year. So yeah, I guess that's really all I'm gonna talk about from my experience, because I just feel like anything I talk about is probably gonna be like repetitive and just like not really interesting. But if you do want to hear more about my experience, make sure you go watch my other video on my college advice and stuff like that. Go ahead and answer the questions that you guys asked me. So I'm just gonna pull up my Instagram and see what you guys wanted to know. So, what would you do differently if you could start freshman year over again? This one's a really good question, and I really like that, so thank you. What I would do differently is definitely be bringing a car. I would definitely tell myself to spend more time out of my room trying to make friends and, you know, doing stuff, being more social and stuff like that, because I really was very unsociable. But you know, there is also times when you need that for yourself, you need time for yourself. But I know personally for me that I literally would stay in my room all the time first semester, because I just was so down and hopeless that I just like didn't even try. So I definitely would change that, and I definitely would, you know, put myself out there more. The next one is, are you happy you chose to attend there, or do you regret it at all? So I am definitely happy that I chose to attend there. Oswego is a great school. It was actually my top choice. My sister's dad attended Oswego, and we have visited Oswego since I was like super young, and I always pictured myself going there. And though it's not exactly what I expected, I know that, you know, it's going to get better with, you know, all the COVID restrictions being lifted and being able to drive around, being able to hang out with my friends like freely. I feel like that's gonna help a lot, and I don't regret going there at all. There definitely was times during the year that I did regret it, and I just wish that I would have stayed home and went to somewhere closer, but I don't regret it now. Was your first year of college what you expected it to be? No, not at all. One, because of the pandemic and all the rules. Two, I had very high expectations for college, and that's literally my fault. I always get my hopes up for certain things and like have these high expectations, and I need to like take a step back and not expect anything. You know, like I need to just like let it happen, and that's something I've always struggled with, but I've learned now that I like have to do that, you know. So I just didn't expect it to be the way it was, and because of, you know, the pandemic and everything, it just wasn't a normal freshman year. So I am super glad that the pandemic is slowly, you know, getting controlled and everything like that, so that next year can be a lot better. Next question is, what are things that we don't need for our dorm room? And then the question after that is, what should you bring to college as a freshman? Guys, I'm going to be making an entire video on what you should bring to college and what you really don't need. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to post that video, because I was thinking about posting it closer to like when school starts. But if I should post it sooner than that, definitely comment down below and tell me, because I definitely will get that out there for you guys. But I was thinking about posting it closer to like the end of July-ish, or like sometime in July, because that's personally when I started like dorm shopping and stuff. But just let me know. Next question is, how is the food on campus? The food on campus, it can be really good, and it can be like really bad. I personally was trying to be gluten-free because I have like severe stomach issues and gut issues and all that. So I was trying to be gluten-free, and I'm gonna be honest, I definitely struggled with that, and I think talking to like a school allergist or whatever, like they have someone that you can talk to about your allergies and then whatever, but I didn't really find out about like my gluten intolerance until like second semester-ish. But that was really difficult. The chicken patty at SUNY Oswego is the best, hands down. Like, I love the chicken patty. Everyone loves the chicken patty. The chicken patty is famous at Oswego. It is so freaking good. Unfortunately, it does have gluten, but I eat it anyway because I'm crazy. But I don't know, it really sucks because I feel like with the pandemic, they're not putting out all the food they normally would and stuff like that. But a lot of it was really, really good. The one thing that I kind of disliked was that there wasn't always a big selection. We usually have like 2 different sections full of like food of the day. And then we also have like a salad bar, a deli counter. So we do have good selection. It's just like sometimes I wasn't in the mood for certain things, but overall I feel like the food is pretty good. But you know, it is still school food. Like, you know, you're always gonna have a little bit of a problem with it, but it is what it is. And then the next are the parties. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't go to any of them. I am not a party person. I'm sorry, but I'm not. But I've seen it on Snapchat and stuff, and they look really fun. I know that Oswego is known for its parties, so yeah. Especially with the pandemic, there wasn't supposed to be too many parties, but I don't know, I didn't go to any, so I'm really sorry, but I can't really answer that question honestly for you. Another question I had was, how did you meet your roommate and how should I go about meeting a roommate? My first semester roommate, her and I met on Facebook, and my school personally has a Facebook page where you can, you know, go on there, tell a little bit about yourself and find potential roommates. So if I were you, I would definitely check that out for your school, see if you can do that. There's also different websites and stuff like that, but that I would really suggest is putting yourself out there and definitely getting a head start on looking for a roommate and like talking to them for a few months, because that definitely will help and make you feel a lot better. Get to know each other and it'll be less like awkward and whatever. My camera is going to die, but that's actually it for this video. Anyway, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to my channel, especially if you're from Oswego or going to Oswego and watching this, because I do post quite a few things that are Oswego related, and I will continue to do that, and I will continue to give college advice and talk about different things you need and don't need for your dorm. So make sure you stay tuned and comment down below when I should post that video for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.